Be talking then. It's time for. Hold on, y'all. Let me answer this phone real quick. What I said? Like a salad, you know, you gotta have it. All right, ready?
It's time for tea time.
It's all about my peso, MC, my lane. Treat the plane like a jet. Apple Watch on me, I rock it like it's a protect. What you expect? I'm the elect. It come with respect.
Yo, what it do? You are rocking with the T-Time Podcast where you talk topics with T. I am your host, Royalty, in the place to be. And you know I'm gonna put that on. No, I ain't gonna do it because I gotta have respect today, y'all. Y'all know what respect is. I gotta have respect today because I got a special guest in the building. Mi madre, my mama. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself though before I go into all that. They understand why this is gonna be a nice episode and a special episode today.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Chandra. I am Royalty's mother, but today he is Terrence because I'm talking today as his mother. And I'm excited to be here. It is an honor. I've been trying to do several things with him, and actually now we get to talk together in person. Those real long conversations on the phone. Now we get to share with the world where he get it from.
Right, and it happened all the time too. We'll get on the phone and literally I'd be calling for something like, "Mom, I'm just trying to figure out." No, I'm lying. I ain't gonna say that because I'd be calling Dana for that. I'd be calling Pops like, "Hey, I'm trying to make some gravy. How you make some gravy?" But I had to call Mama like, "Mama." So I was thinking about something, and then that thinking about something turns into a thought about something that turns into what it's gonna be, that turns into what it should have been, what turns into it just be a long conversation. Y'all gonna get a dose of how that go today, and then we're gonna try to have to keep it under containment because we can't go too long. People start to get bored. They can't get bored though, because we have some interesting conversations.
Yes, we do.
Then y'all get a dose of that yesterday. We got a nice little audience in here with us today too. So it's nice or whatever. Mama in town for the holidays. Well, the fam came in town for the holidays, so shout them out, and we was able to make this happen. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give y'all a taste of how our phone conversations go and how we wanted to do this. I wanted to bring forth the topic of support. I talk a lot about mental health and stuff like that. So a lot of my audience is more so parents. You know what I mean? I don't get a lot of solo people. You know what I mean? A lot of people are parents because we are the ones that deal with a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, and mental health issues because of how much, we have to take on and the baggage that we carry. So we wanted to do a segment today on the importance of support to an adolescent or a teen or a child or even an elderly person from a parent standpoint, and how important it is to give that primary support and that secondary support to your child. That way they can properly learn and understand exactly what it is that they need to do in life, because they're going to have to return that back to you. So if you don't teach it to them the proper way, then how do you expect for them to teach it back to you when you get older? And now you're complaining to somebody because your child is putting you in a nursing home, or your child is not doing this for you, or they're not making sure you got groceries, or making sure your hygiene is up. Now you got to hire a nurse and all, you know what I mean? Right. Because you didn't teach them as a child when you didn't do it for them. So they never properly learned it to know this is what I should give back. Exactly. So that's how we kind of wanted to go in today, whatever, just a little broader understanding. I know a lot of people might already have like their own perspective because life is about perception. So a lot of people have their own perspective on what they may think parenting is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you also have to understand when we speak about breaking generational curses and things like that, if you understand that your parent didn't raise you or didn't bring you up in the correct manner, then it's up to you to change that. Otherwise, your child is going to learn that from you. That's right. And it might not be a day and time where you can tell them this isn't how you're supposed to do it. Right. So then you leave that knowledge stuck with them, and now that stamp is here, and now your change to the generational curse never came because you didn't even act on it. Right. But y'all let you get the flow because I go. Right. And when you're talking, my mind is going. Because
Well, all I can speak about is myself as a mother and being raised. Everything starts with the foundation. So as a child, I'm somebody's child. My mama was somebody's child. So each generation teaches the next generation. So what the thing is for me is I had to go back and look at how I was raised. You know, so
Indeed.
I had a two-parent home.
Okay.
But which parent did I glean from? You know, which parent did I want to make my motto out of? And my father passed when I was 16, but I gleaned a lot from my dad because he came from we're from the South, and it was a type of household where the dad did mostly everything and the mom took care of the kids. But when we moved to the city, my mom ended up working and my dad was working. But what they instilled in us, I tried to instill into my own kids, basically saying this. My father was the type of a go-getter type, and that's who I am. So everything that he taught me, I wanted to put into my kids because I didn't want my kids growing up being dependents. I want them to be independent. And anybody that know me and know my kids, they know how I raised them. I raised my kids as people. I didn't raise them as kids.
I tell that to people all the time.
I raised them as people. And people used to get mad at me when I had my kids. Now, this may sound weird to some people, but it worked for me. I started disciplining my kids when they were 6 months old.
It's time for
Because if you knew the cry for a bottle, you understood when I said no then. So at 6 months old, yes, I started popping. I started doing all of that. I started putting the foundation of me in them. So they started respecting me at 6 months. When they was walking, I could put all the glass, anything on the table, and you and Shannon never touched it because y'all knew. Y'all knew better because I instilled it in y'all at 6 months as babies. I didn't wait till y'all start walking and could understand my voice before I started trying to make a foundation for y'all. Y'all knew at 6 months old how to react to my mama's voice, how to react to your daddy's voice, because we raised y'all like that. So then as y'all begin to get older and y'all begin to know how to speak, I begin to listen to y'all because I don't know what's in your head. I can be telling you to do one thing, but you feel like you're inadequate and you can't do that. But I allow you to say, well, mama, I can reach that, but I can't reach that. The only way I know it is if you tell me.
And that becomes an important factor as well because, yes, we have children and we look at our children as children. You know what I mean? It's for us too because there's a certain role that we have to do. But this also goes along with the titles thing. You know what I mean? When you have to learn how to separate that title from reality as well. So reality of the whole situation is this is still a human being.
Exactly.
So this human being still has its own outlook, its own thoughts, its own understanding. It might not get, you know what I mean? Your child might not read the way you read or see stuff the way you see it. So you can't fully go into thinking, my mom did it like this for me, so you gonna understand it like this. So what you did was, nope, I'm gonna do it my way because there's no reason why you gotta wait this long to understand it. So once you grasp the understanding, once I see that you have any kind of understanding, okay, now we can start to build on that understanding. I always tell it that's what like personal development is about. And parenting with adolescents, that's what you have to do. You have to help your child build that personal development. You have to, if you see you have a more active child or a more understanding child, you have to help them learn how to capitalize off of that. You know
Ask them what is it that you want to do?
Exactly.
Tell me what you know already. So I can support you and I can get you the proper trainings, the proper equipment to help you flourish in that area. See, a lot of parents push stuff on kids. Oh, I play football, so my son gonna play football. Who's to say he don't want to be a musician? Who's to say they don't want to play volleyball just because you think it's a feminine sport? He might prosper more over there. You can't make a person do what you did. Indeed. And that was one thing I never did with you and Shannon. I saw what was in you and I saw what was in her. And I pulled out what was in you and I pulled out what was in her. But I allow y'all to tell me what it is that you need to help you get to where you want to go. If y'all say, well, mama, I want to join this, hey, do it. Because I don't want to say, no, I don't think you could do that. I don't already put failure in you already. I'll never do that. A parent should never put something in a kid. Let the child experience life for themselves, but be there to pick them up, put them back on the right path, and show them what it is and where they went wrong. if you would have tried it this way, then maybe it would have worked that way. Or let's try it this way and see what happens.
Right. And that's one thing that always worked with me that I tell people that I'm glad that you did with me is it wasn't too much of a holding hand situation. At one point, it was a let go. And it was like, you'll learn. You know what I mean? Because I can't even expect for you to learn how I learned. Or I can't even expect for you to get it how I got it. But I'm telling you, I went down this road before and I understood what happened at the end for me. So no matter however you do it, the end of this road is going to be this. But you don't want to listen to me, so you go ahead and you'll see for yourself. Right. And what did that do at a young age? It helped for you to understand now how to analyze the entire situation. Right. Sit back and think about it. Like, think about what it is you're going to do. Think about the outcome that it's going to bring, and think about where it's going to end you up, in a good place or a bad place, the same spot, and realize, is it even worth your time? Exactly. You know, or do you just go ahead and you figure out something else? Right. I was watching something earlier from Kenya. It was on decision making. Shout out to Classic Talks podcast. And she had brought up something about the strategy when you're looking at the whole thing. And then it's like you'll get to the end of it just to realize what it is that you were going for was something that wasn't even worth it. And that's where analyzing the entire situation matters, because sometimes you might think you want something, but at the end of the whole thing, you will get to the end and be like, this ain't even what I want. But then think about how much time you wasted in that. That's what this is the type of stuff that I learned from just sitting back and sitting back and thinking like, okay, if I make this move, then that only can put me in this position. And, you know what I mean? But you helped build that in me by not holding my hand and painting the picture for me. Exactly. Not telling me like, nope, you're going to do this. You're going to go to this school. And then once you leave this school, you're going to this school. And then once you leave this school, you're going here. And then once you get done doing this, then you're going to be set up to do it on your own. No, because maybe that's not for me. That's not your road. That was my road. Right. That I wanted for you. But no. You have to, that's why I say, look, children are people. And parents got to, that's the main thing I stress. Parents have to understand that once you say mama and daddy, you got a voice. And I was telling Dana earlier, the thing about it is a lot of homes are one way. Mm-hmm. You go in there and this is my house, my rules, everything is my. Just because you're the breadwinner, that don't mean you the brain. Yeah, exactly. Because just because you're the breadwinner don't mean you the technical one. I'm your mom, right? But I learned from you. You do stuff that I didn't do, but I'm excited for you because this is your role, which now allows me to now be able to do some things that I wanted to do. Right. But parents have to understand, even the younger parents, and that was one of the main things I wanted to touch on. The younger moms and the younger dads. Spend more time with your kids to find out really what it is that they want. And don't allow the system, the school, the teachers, the counselors to build them up when it's your job to build them up. Because like me, I'm a proud parent. I've never been an entrepreneur. I've never been a business owner. I was a high school dropout. I went back and got my diploma at the age of 41. And the reason I did that was because I had grandbabies. My 2 kids walked across the stage, and I wanted to be one of them grandparents that be like, I went to school, but not only get my GED, I went and got a degree, which loosened up my fear of doing things. But to look at me and see how fearful I was, you will not see that in my kids. You guys never saw the fear in me because I didn't want y'all to grow up like I did. Shy, low self-esteem, all of that. Y'all don't have none of that because I made it my business to not show me who I thought I was to y'all. And I'm so proud of y'all because both of y'all, you got your own things going, very outspoken, and y'all leaders. And I love that about y'all, and I was talking to Dana earlier about a lot of the children that grew up in 2-parent homes. Get together with the kids, people. Get together with your babies. Get back to sitting at the table having dinner and listen to your kids. Don't overtalk them. And that's something I learned from you, Terrence. Me and you talk, we so much alike that when we talk, and it's like right now, you really want to jump in here and say something. I know it because that's how we are. Now, because it's like if you don't jump in there, you're gonna miss it. I ain't gonna get much opportunity. But get back to listening.
Just because you listen.
That's why I learned how to write, because then sometimes you don't want to miss that thought. So put a reminder to yourself. Write it down. That way you can always come back to it. That's the power of reflection.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Writing down, that way you're able to come back, reflect on what it is. Because sometimes the thing that you got in your mind that you want to say, somebody's going to touch base on it. Just give them a little time to get to it. You know what I mean?
But I just wish parents would get back to listening. See, I listen to y'all. I listen to you and shit, and I let y'all talk. I let y'all have choices. And mothers and fathers need to do that. And our adolescents, especially the teenagers now, they don't know which way to go.
And another thing I picked up on is everybody won't get it. You know, every mother won't get it. Every father won't get it. But one thing that I appreciate is Dana. Because what happens is you might not have the father figure that's supposed to be there.
Right.
But then you can't expect a father figure that's gonna be there to be there.
Right. But
in the same breath, he still takes the opportunity through my life to teach me.
Right.
It doesn't have to be your job to do that. Your sole job when you got into this was, I want to make you happy. I'm looking at your mama. I'm going for your mama. You know what I mean? You didn't meet her and the first thing that you said was, you got some kids.
I like your kids.
You know I like the kids. Right. I just want to be with the kids. No, you came in with this, but you accepted everything to come with it, and you accepting back. You know what I mean? Young little bad ones. You know what I'm saying? This ain't 16 years old. My son barely be at home. No, I still gotta.
Shorties, as they call
you come over, he gonna be here. The age of 4, the age of 6. You know what I mean? Like, been there. And it's little stuff that I see now. Like I said, when you're growing up as a young man, growing into an adult man, it's things that you don't appreciate and you don't think about that a man can bring into your life. You know what I mean? And it's simple stuff that I see now. And it's like, right, I wouldn't even be as organized as I am if it wasn't for Dana. Because it was just little stuff that I would see, like the pants. I got in trouble for stealing pants and walking on the back of them. But go look in my room now. All my jeans is hung up.
Yeah.
Ask TJ what I tell him now. Hey, stop walking on the back of your pants. Then you just slapped yourself in the head like, right. I know where I got that from. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. I got a nightstand full of cologne. You know what I mean? I don't even go nowhere.
Gleaning. That's what I was saying.
You know what I mean? I don't go. You know what I mean? And the reason why he might not understand that I glean more that way is because I always yearn for a male.
Right.
I was surrounded by a lot of dudes, right? And nothing but girl cousins.
Yep.
Nothing but aunties. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all women. So then you finally get a man, and it's a masculine man. So you're like, oh, that's how it's supposed to go. Oh, okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. And people don't appreciate that. Right. You know what I mean? And even now, when you become a grown man, think about whatever important male has been in your life, and you need to go and just go and pay your respect to them. Let them know, because sometimes they need to know that, because when stuff like that is not voiced to people, you never know how much it makes them retreat from their true self.
Exactly.
So let somebody know, like, you served a purpose. You serve a purpose. You know what I mean? And you mean something to everything that's going on with me. So don't think that I just looked at you as somebody there, because you wasn't just somebody there. Right. Because I wouldn't be able to raise him in a manly way in the position that I've been put in to raise him without you. You know what I mean? It was more than just, you know, this is the nurturing part of it, where I understand how to take them out shopping and do stuff like that. But when it comes down to, no, man, pull your pants up like this, and nope, start over. Unbutton all the way down. You put this on, pull this on over. Then you pull this down. Then you do a little rub. Yeah. How to spray the cologne and not overdo it. You know, don't overdo it. Just you need to hit the hot spots. These only spots you need to rub, grub. Right. But I learned all that from having a male in my life, and a lot of men don't pay respect to the males that did take time to help them become the men that they are. You might not be the man that you always thought that you could be, but that's probably because that's just what your ego sought out. But the spiritual man that you're supposed to be, you know what I mean? God placed the right people in your life to put you where you need to be for that purpose.
For the purpose. For the purpose. Yes. Yes. And then, because we don't know what our journey is, what our journey gonna be as we go down the line. Right. And just and think, what if the situation that our family is in now, you know, with you having TJ by yourself as single dad, if we didn't have him to help you get there, what would it be like? Exactly. And I'm in a whole nother state. I got to try to help you be a nana and a mama from 1,100 miles away, telling you that, well, put him on FaceTime. Let me see if his pants right.
Or just the thought of thinking the position of being a man that helped bring up 2 kids that don't belong. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
feel like I can't be man enough to bring up a kid that belonged to me because I'm going to allow 126 miles to stop that.
Right.
That's the type of stuff that it builds. Like, oh, no, I got to go do what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Situation like this happened. If you never would have been placed here, I never seen a man be inside of a woman's life. You know what I mean? That important part means that when that situation happens with me, I look at grandma and say, you can call me whenever, but, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to. No. I got to handle my business. No, I'm second. I'm first in line, but I'm second in line in this case. Let me take him. I got him. And 4 years later, look.
You got him.
That's where it happens at.
Yeah.
But I ain't going to let you skip over the fact that you wanted to talk about the mothers.
Oh, yeah.
The mamas.
And the mammies.
And the mamies. You know what I'm talking about? It's some mamies that need to be talked about out here.
Yeah.
And you mamies need to be corrected so that you can learn how to be a mama.
Be a mama.
Because once you learn how to be a mama, you can elevate yourself into being a mother.
That's it.
But I'll let you. That's your segment.
Yeah, because I was thinking when Terrence told me he wanted me to talk about mothers.
You could tell. I don't mean to cut you off. You could tell this is my mama on this episode. She done said my government about 50,000 on the government. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. I ain't gonna.
But you know, I was getting my thoughts together that, okay, well, what can I talk about in a generation and in a time as this, that, you know. And I was thinking, and I was talking to Dana earlier about it, and I was like, you know, when you look at little girls and they get their baby dolls, and how do they treat their baby dolls? You can kind of see then what are they going to be? Mamas, mothers, or mammies? And Kennedy yesterday, she did something, and I said, whenever Kennedy gets some kids, she's going to be a good mother. She was talking to her sister on the phone, and her sister said, Kennedy, what do you want for Christmas? And Kennedy said, and she told me she wanted a dollhouse, but she told her sister, I need some diapers and bottles and clothes for my babies. She thought about the babies. And that's how mothers do. Mothers think about the children. They think about their kids. They don't think about themselves. They put themselves on the back burner and go all out for the kids. Like, when I knew it was my time, when I was on the system with my kids, I felt comfortable. I was comfortable because I knew on the first of the month, I had a check coming in, got some food stamps coming.
Love the first.
I was good.
Love the first.
And they called that Mother's Day.
Love the first.
But when I had got on my own and I had to depend on my check, buying some food and some clothes and paying rent. Back then, rent was like $275. Then you had a light bill and a gas bill. And if you had a car, you had gas and other stuff that go along with the car if it broke down. So you had to learn how to budget things out. But yet you wanted to make sure your kids were taken care of too, with clothes and shoes. And I was the kind of mother
That's right, Jack.
I thought I wasn't going to have no kids because the doctors told me I was never going to have kids. So when I got my kids, I was very, very protective, and I wanted them to have everything I never had. So I would go to work and I would bust my butt. And Shannon became the nurturer at home because I was at work doing doubles, making sure that my kids had what they wanted.
Listen, hemming me up in corners, unplugging the phone while I'm on the phone. That ain't nurturing.
But she was hard-headed. You should have did what she told you. You knew the rules.
She taught me how to be tough, though. Never mind, I ain't gonna do that. This ain't this.
You knew the rules. You knew I was at work, and you knew she was in charge. And she did a good job. They listened because, like I told y'all, at 6 months, I had played no games. By the time they was 1 year old, I didn't have to open my mouth. All I had to do was get them the mother look, and that was it.
Ask TJ about the look.
I just had to give them the look. But you know, boys gonna be boys. You got to give them the look and the choke of the back of the neck. Mothers know what I'm talking about. Snatch the back of the neck. You ain't got to say much else. But back to what I'm saying about the mothers. Mothers are more nurturing. Mothers are there. They listen. They're always available. And if they ain't, they're going to make themselves available.
And that's an important thing in my situation that I like to bring up when I talk about with TJ. I tell people that all the time. Like, the only thing that bothers me in his situation is every child needs a nurturer and a teacher. You know what I mean? You learn from both, but a male's job in a young boy's life is to teach. You know what I mean? All the way through. So I can teach him all day long, and that's what you can tell. You can see it in him. Like all you do is learn. You can tell, but he has the nurturer is missing. You know what I'm saying? That get on the couch and get up under me and let's watch a movie. Right. You know what I mean? Like as bad as I want to do it, it's just not in my nature to do it. And it's like I don't even want him thinking that it's cool to do that. Like
because you feel like you need to be doing something else.
Exactly. So that'd be the biggest thing. You know what I mean? So I do understand the importance in that. And that's why I kind of lean on Mama Auntie over there, because I'm like, he enjoys the fact that he just get to go and just be around somebody, like come around, and she always just, oh, you so handsome, you so you know what I'm saying? I'm in
that's
here like
that female part, and that's what men.
Ugly. You know,
that's what y'all want to. Right, like we tell you, get your hair together. What's going on with your hair, bro?
And I'm that's what like we thugging it out, bro.
Right,
we straight, bro.
No, first thing we want to make sure you're looking right. You know, that's just our mothers want everything in line. Because then when you not set that foundation as a mother, then you can be a mama. Everybody can't be a mama because you ain't no mother yet. Because if you're a mama, a mama is what I am with you and Shannon now. I could come over your house in your space and you ain't the kind, let me get this up, let me get my ashtrays up, mama coming over. No.
Don't say ashtrays on the podcast.
But you know what I'm saying. You know, I can be mama with y'all because y'all know the foundation. I lay the foundation, but y'all know the boundaries.
And the foundation is important in no matter what you do.
And that's the mother part of the mother is she foundations, and the mama come on top of her.
And if you don't believe that, you better ask your daddy, because your mama keep your daddy in check, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Your daddy ain't running stuff for real.
Come on here.
He ain't running nothing but his mouth. Never mind.
But once you set that foundation as a mother, as a mama, you can kind of chill a little bit and kind of, hang out with your kids. Your kids can kind of be your friend. But if you ain't no mother yet, you can't be your kid's friend, because when you try to be the mother, you're going to try to go backwards. You can't be the mother if you ain't never set the foundation. Try to check your kid and you ain't got no foundation.
Exactly.
They're going to check you back.
That's the same way you better look at it in your relationship. You try to check your man and you ain't got no foundation. It ain't going to work. That's why y'all bumping heads.
And that's why a lot of relationships fall apart. You got to have a relationship with God. You got to have a relationship with your parents. You got to have a relationship with your kids. That's right, you got to have a relationship. And that's where the foundation lies. Like, y'all know how far to go with me. Y'all know how far to go. Ask your sister. I'm her mother, but when I tried to be a mama, she just tried to step to me like I was a mammy, and I ain't never been no mammy. Then I had to go back into mother mode. You know what I'm saying? You got to go back to, okay, let me set the foundation with this girl, because she don't understand quite yet what we got going on right here. Even though y'all gonna still always be my kids. Like my mama, I'm 50 years old, and there's no way I go in my mama's house and act like just because I'm 50, I can talk how I want to, cuss, and I don't. No, it's the respect there. That's my mother. My mother laid a good foundation for me and my sister and brother. I never ever stepped the boundary, and you and Shannon, you ain't never stepped the boundary with me. You know what I'm saying?
Smack was reckless, cuz. Yeah. Smack was rebellious, cuz. Smack.
But the thing about it is, me and Shannon, she has no sisters, so I think she just closer to me. Yep. So she thought that because me and her close, oh, I'm gonna go there. But no, you don't go there. But once you set that foundation.
But the relationship in that is important.
It is.
You know what I mean? When you let's step off the mother and son and go to the mother and daughter. The relationship that y'all have is great, because the relationship that y'all have allows her to be as open as possible to say whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she know that you are not going to judge her in any kind of
way.
Never.
And that's one thing about y'all. I let y'all.
That's important.
And y'all have never been the type of kids where y'all felt like, I can't go talk to my mom. I'm gonna go talk to his mama. And my mama don't get it.
Right. And I say that to say, don't look at the mammy part as always a bad thing.
But it's just understanding the foundation your role of a mother.
Right. You have to have everything set to even understand how to be a mammy. Because if you do that in reverse roles, then you're going to find yourself in a bad situation. The first thing that you always teach, so the foundation being first, is always what's going to be reflected and resulted back to. But if you teach the Mamie as the foundation,
you always
when you go to be mother, exactly, the foundation that's being set is always going to be Mamie. This is what you taught me that you were. So it's always important that you let it be known. That's why I tell people all the time that I'm not my kids' friend. I want them to always think that, but I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to make sure you know what to do to not get yourself in trouble and how to get yourself ahead. That way you don't need me. I don't want you to need me forever.
See, and that's what I said with y'all. I felt comfortable. When God said you can move, I felt comfortable moving away from y'all because I set y'all up to a point to y'all know how to, y'all can get it on your own.
Indeed. Facts.
Y'all can get it on your own. Y'all didn't need me no more. Y'all need me, but y'all free enough to do it on your own now. I don't have to hold y'all hand no more. You know, which I never really, I really never held y'all hands, never really, you know.
Right.
I've always let y'all be as independent.
For a little while with me, it was, and it might not be the fact that you looked at it as a hand-holding situation, but you might not have been open, but it was just more so out of the fear of what you didn't want. It was more over-comforting. That's what it was. Over-nurturing. You know what I mean? Where if there was never a Dana in the picture or a male in the picture, you know, I don't want to go into what could happen, but it would turn you into, I think, look at my life. It was all, you know what I mean? All girls, all women. The importance of like TJ, why I got him playing football and stuff. You have to be around boys and men. Because I grew up around a lot of girls, a lot of women. You know what I mean? And if you don't have somebody there to say, let the boy go outside. No, he's supposed to be in here, right? Give him about 10 minutes, and then he better show up. You know what I mean? Right, and that's the over nurturing part. That's where the hand holding. That's where that would fall in the category of hand holding, because it's almost like let the boy be a boy. Watch her, but let him be a boy, because he gonna have to learn. Because one day he gonna have to protect you. But if you always teach him how to be a protector, he won't be able to learn his own character.
Right.
You know what I mean? Being an alpha is being out in the wild, and you got to figure it out sometimes. Figure out where you strengthen that. Some people stronger with the hands. Some people stronger with the mind. Some people stronger with the mouth. Some people can fight their way out of a problem. Some people can talk their way out of a problem. Some people can strategize their way out of a problem. But if you nurture somebody forever, they never figure out how they can survive. So then they go with what you want. You know what I mean? Because it's what you taught. Well, my mama always taught me, put my hands up in a fight, but I don't even know how to fight. Bink, 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 bink.
Right.
But you're supposed to be the protector, but you might be the communicator. Hey, hold on. Just come on, man. Is this really what you want to do? Look, your kids even looking at now the whole problem is solved because you let that male go out and figure out where he strengthens at.
Yeah. And
Simba wasn't the same as Mufasa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, come on.
But Mufasa dying, Scar don't understand that he did him a favor, because Mufasa was over nurturing him. Don't go that far. You can't do this. You can't do that. Scar killed Mufasa, sent Simba off. He met some new people, but they taught him be yourself, and he learned how to be himself. Throughout that whole movie, y'all never seen Mufasa teach Simba how to fight. So how did he manage to learn how to beat Scar at the end? Because he had built confidence. Simba had to build everything about his own character to conquer the challenge at the end, to show I can protect. And that's the power of having somebody like Dana in a male's life to say, let him go. He gotta go. You gotta let him. You gotta let him jump off. That's just this. You gotta let him get off the porch. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's what I was saying about letting y'all voice y'all choices, decisions, give me y'all opinions. I wanted to know who y'all was.
Right. And that's important for parents to understand about they're human beings.
Yes.
You have to understand them. You have to know their strengths, their weaknesses.
Exactly.
They are not you. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And I struggled that for a long time with TJ, because I was kind of upset that I named him after me. When I got really into myself and everything, it was like, because I want him to be his own person. But God works in so many mysterious ways that he put him in a situation where he became a TJ, because you're nothing but everything that your dad is, because that's all you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I understand it now. But now his seed won't be a third. He's going to name his child something completely different.
How you know?
Because I'm knowing it. because it won't be, the situation won't be the same. You know what I mean?
You don't know that George Foreman named all his sons George.
I hope not.
And they all did their own thing.
I hope not. My cousin Michi told me I was a very interesting man because I had 3 first names. He said you don't meet too many brothers that got 3 first names. We ain't gonna go too deep into that, but it was that always stuck with me, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy, but yeah, you gotta learn your kids. You know what I mean? Understand your kids, and children. You have to understand your parents. It's all a learning process. That's why it's important for family to get back to family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sitting down with each other and stuff, because then you get to talk. You know what tick daddy off. You know what tick mama off. You know what what I mean? And this is what happened with us. We had a lot of family time.
All the time.
We spent a lot of in the house time to where I knew if I crept in the room while she was on the phone that she was gonna yell at me, so I knew how to do it just to irritate her. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I don't know what would irritate my sister if I never really spent time with her.
That's right.
And
now we know
we're gonna have to do a segment on siblings. You know what I mean?
Irritates her.
We're gonna have to get one. Yeah, everything.
Everything irritates her.
Because smack is reckless, smack is rebel.
No. But back to what we were talking. See what I'm saying? That's how our conversations. We went all the way to Lion King, and we were talking about something else. You know what I'm saying?
Because the Bible says you shall speak in parables. When you're talking to the folks for better understanding.
If you're talking them one way.
Shot tabalo AC.
All right.
Gonna do that.
But back to what I was saying with the mamas and the mammies. Once you build a foundation as a mother, then you can move on to being a mama, which is where I am in my life with you and Shannon. I can be y'all mama. Like what we doing now. We can talk how we talk. We laugh. We have a good time. We enjoy one another. Because I ain't worried about y'all overstepping the boundaries, because I set that foundation. But when it comes to mammies, that's where I want to get at, because a lot of families, a lot of mothers that were mothers didn't have the opportunity or the time because of where we live. A lot of mothers are not working, and they don't have that time to really spend with their daughters to show them how to properly raise their children. So the girls are trying to figure it out on their own. And then a lot of them are becoming parents so early that, they're becoming grandmothers at the age of 30s and 36s and 40s, where our grandmamas was already 60 and 70. A lot of the young girls don't know how to properly raise their kids. So now their mothers, like, raising their kids. So now it's like you see your kid is looking at you like you my sister. So they don't treat you like that's my mama. They treat you like you my sister. So now when you try to tell them something or try to do something with them, they ain't looking at you like, well, I can't do that because mama said, I'm going to get in trouble. No, they looking at you like, sister, you like, go in there and pick that stuff up off the floor. No. And y'all laughing because you're high. Everything funny. Twerk, Keisha, twerk. Everybody laughing.
Twerk,
Keisha, twerk. Everybody laughing at Keisha twerking. And now Keisha done dropped stuff all on the floor. And now you say, Keisha, go in there and pick that up off the floor. Ain't. Wait a minute, let me get up. Ain't. So. But let mama say, let the grandmama say, Keisha, go get that. Keisha gonna go get it. Yep. And Keisha ain't gonna say nothing.
True story.
That's that mammy stuff.
And you done let grandmother become the grandmother.
That's right.
So now the child is respecting the grandma more than she respecting the actual mother. And it becomes mental health, stressful, and depression to you, because what you yearning for now, because that connection that you have with that child that you pushed out, you're yearning to be the nurturer for it now, and it's rejective to it. And by it being rejective to it, that's something that's being rejective to your spirit now. Because that child is a bearing from your spirit as well. And now it's becoming rejective of it because you didn't do your purpose of nurturing that child.
They respect the grandmama more than they respect the mother.
And now you got to be a child your entire life, because now you got to call your mother to have your mother help you
check your kid.
Facts.
That's why when y'all had y'all kids, what your mama say? What your daddy say? Nana, can I go over your house? Terrence, what TJ do in school this week? Did he do everything you told him to do at home? Yeah, you can come. Shane with the girls. Shannon, what they doing? No, they got in trouble, mama. Well, nope, you can't come. I never overstep y'all as parents of y'all own kids unless y'all ask me to.
The only thing you do is you play your nana role.
That's my job.
And that's when we all together and the kids might get yelled at. And sometimes don't yell at them. They all right.
But that's my job. I got to.
And that's
now wait till y'all go back home and y'all can do whatever y'all normal routine is. But ain't no routine when I come to town.
Yeah, you're right.
Ain't no routine. You know, if they want what y'all normally don't give them, give it to them. Because y'all can give them the look like y'all know she leaving tomorrow, right?
But that's but that's also playing the position of that's just family. You play the position because you need people in there. And when you put people in those certain positions, like I understand that there's things that TJ won't say to me, but he'll say it to Shannon. I know that. I know it's things that he's gonna grow up and he gonna call Dana to talk about that he won't talk to me about. There's things he gonna talk to Tune about that he wouldn't talk to me about. There's things he gonna talk to you about he won't talk to Shannon about. You know what I mean? Because everybody has a different role.
Right.
I know I gotta go to my daddy for everything, but Papa, I need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk to my pops about it. I'm gonna ask you. You know what I mean? Because it's just you're a little bit smoother because I'm playing my role. I'm not supposed to be your friend. I want to be that, but you also do understand that you can come and talk to me because we take the time to have conversations. But some stuff it might not be life threatening, right? But it's just certain conversations that you feel comfortable having with somebody else. Looking for, like with me and you, like you could talk to Shannon about something, but you know when you say you hit Shannon with a relationship question, you be like, fam, you know this chick, she's so and so, and she gonna be like, bro. Yeah. If it was me, bro, you know, bro, I'm a so, bro. But when you come to when you really think about what she told you, you done sat back and analyzed and thought about it. Now, Mama, let me ask you a question. Let me get your opinion on this. Because you know, me and you gonna go back to, well, what the Bible say. Is it in the word? Yeah. You know, so now you got your natural to think about. Then I'm going to give it to you from the spiritual, but you know, I'm going to bring it back to the natural. But we're going to go spiritual, see, do this line up with the word, because this is what the instruction that you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like you say, that's why everybody in the house, or everybody that you connect to you that you say you call family, that you confide in, plays a very important role in raising children. And that's why you got to understand, as a parent, it's not always about just you as a parent, because some parents grow old to feel like failures because their child didn't turn out to be what they wanted them to be. What they wanted them to be. You know what I mean? First of all, you can't look for your child to ever be what you want them to be. And then you also have to understand that you can't look at yourself as a failure as a parent unless you overlook everything that you did. What environment did you have your child in? Exactly. You know what I mean? What standards did you set for your household? What was the foundation that you set as a whole? You know what I mean? There's certain things that I don't allow my son to be around. You know what I mean? Right. Doesn't mean I have anything against the people or the persons or the places or the things. It's just that I understand that my son is at a stage in his life where he's a sponge and he soaks up everything. And it could be one little thing, but once it grasps interest in a child, it'll be in his mind all the time. And now you got things like YouTube and stuff where you can look up everything and you don't even have to know how to spell it. And it'll still direct you to it. Yeah. And now you got your son, you wondering like, hold on, I done went to Harvard and I'm a doctor. Why my son like guns so much? Because you ain't even paying attention to who you letting them hang around or who house he going over. Or what he watching on YouTube. None of this stuff is mattering because the only thing that you too focused on is what's going on with you. Don't be selfish. You signed up for something when you have children, life changes. And you sign up for something and now it's not about you anymore. And I'm a key stickler about they didn't ask to be here. Children didn't ask to be here. So you don't change their life to fit your life. You got to change your life to fit their life because they didn't ask to come here. When you and Shannon came into my life, I wanted kids. So I changed my life to fit y'all. But then when I tried to have a life, Jack. Then Shannon mentioned to me that I was going too much. I stopped what I was doing to get back to y'all because evidently it was something she needed from me. So I need to stay at home so I can get into my kids' head and find out what y'all doing. What's going on? But it was something I wanted to talk about you and Shannon, because that's all I can talk about is you and her. And when I say we listened to y'all when y'all were little, I knew where you were gonna go. I knew your life from when we used to sit in the car and listen to music. When I bought you the boombox and the Eminem CDs and all of that, I knew where your life was going. When you told me and Dana that you said one day
I'm gonna start a production company.
Hey, don't I tell y'all this all
And
the time?
Dana say,
told you, I've been manifesting this since I was a kid.
And Dana say, what's the name of your production studio?
Bust Your Speaker Productions.
I said, and then we used to always say, well, do it then.
Yep.
Do it then.
Yep.
Well, do it then. But we never knew the rapping that was gonna be what got you there. Cause you used to you got in trouble for rapping, but you used to rap in the room with your boombox and stuff. But that was all a part of this journey that you went on to get here. You know, Shannon was more like me. But one thing I like about Shannon is that before I had her, I would get jobs and quit jobs. Get jobs and quit jobs. I think I can't even count how many jobs I've ever had.
I can remember you always telling us about your resume.
Man, I get jobs and quit jobs. But when I got a job and I kept the job, one thing I could say about Shannon is, when Shannon get a job, Shannon gonna keep that job. Unless you send it to 10, from 0 to 10, it's over. But other than that, Shannon go to work.
Because Smack is reckless.
And I told her that. I said, that's one thing. She get good jobs too.
Yep,
and what work? Y'all had good attendance records, but y'all watched, and I made sure that I told y'all, go to work. Don't miss no days. Same with Dana. Y'all watched him. He go to work. Go to work. And those were the things that's what another thing that made me feel good about leaving. I knew y'all was gonna make it happen. I don't care what y'all had to do. The pandemic brought out some things in y'all that y'all probably had the division, knew you wanted to do it, but didn't have the time. So now God gave y'all the time. Now look, you're building businesses. Look at this. This is awesome. And I love it. And I'm a very proud mother. I'm a very proud mother because now I know what I did for y'all wasn't in vain. And it still ain't in vain because the journey ain't over. And I'm going to forever be there to support y'all in whatever y'all do. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm about to buy a bunch of lighters. I don't know what I'm doing with them. But whatever y'all got going on, I'm going to invest. I'm going to invest because I want y'all journey and I know it ain't going to be easy because it's not meant to be. Because you gotta appreciate how you get there. So you're gonna have to have a little couple rocks every now and then. A couple people gonna fall off. But you gotta keep on going through that's your path. Just go around it, the rock, and keep on going, but never get to the rock and stop. Don't go ahead.
Oh, that's it. I was gonna let you finish because we brought this thing up. Well, we thank you. You know I've been wanting to get you on here since I first started about a year ago when I first started. We always talk. She like, put me on the podcast. Put me on the podcast. Well, you on the podcast. And you did exactly what we knew you was gonna do. You took the flow and you let it be known. You know what I mean? You speak real. And it's the stuff that people need to hear and it's the stuff that people want to hear. Some people even have these things and they can't get it out. So this could be a nice segment for families to sit down and listen to together, mothers and daughters to sit down and listen to together, or something if you know somebody that might need to hear this that they can take it and they can share it. You know what I mean? So we do thank you for coming and sitting and rocking in with us.
Yeah.
As always, we want to thank y'all for rocking with the T-Time podcast where we talk topics with T. As always, I want to leave you with the acronym. That's peace. Positive energy always creates elevation. Peace, love, prosperity. And until next time. Out. And that is that. We need